Welcome to Banglar Sultans, your home for uncovering the greatest mysteries and forgotten chapters of world history. The Lighthouse Keeper's Promise. A true story inspired by 19th century New England legends. Genre: romantic mystery, maritime tragedy, historical drama. Tone: emotional, atmospheric, haunting, and deeply human. Prologue: the shore that keeps secrets. There is a stretch of coastline in New England where fog rolls in like a living thing. Locals say the sea there remembers. Every wave that crashes carries whispers of ships that never returned and hearts that waited in vain. Among those whispers lies the legend of Captain Elias Whitmore, a lighthouse keeper whose promise to his lost love became one of the most enduring mysteries in American maritime history. Chapter 1: The Keeper of Havens Reach, 1853. The Havens Reach Lighthouse, built in 1839, stood on a lonely rock off the coast of Maine. It was said to be the most isolated post in the Atlantic, reachable only when tides were kind and tempests merciful. In 1853, the U.S. Lighthouse Board appointed Elias Whitmore, a former sailor and widower, as its keeper. Locals described him as a man carved from the salt and sorrow of the sea. Every morning, Elias lit the beacon, and every night, he trimmed its flame. His only companion was a small brass locket he wore around his neck. Inside, a daguerreotype of his late fiancée, Clara Morgan, a young artist from Boston who had drowned when her ship, the Seraphine, vanished in a storm 6 years before. Chapter 2: The Promise in the Storm. Before Clara sailed, Elias had sworn to her, "No matter where you drift, my light will guide you home." After her ship was lost, he dedicated his life to keeping that light burning, not for sailors, but for her. During one brutal winter storm, another keeper visiting the island recorded in his logbook that Elias was seen standing on the cliffs, shouting his name into the roaring sea. He later wrote, "He speaks to the ocean as though it listens." Chapter 3: The Message in the Bottle. In 1861, a message washed ashore in a bottle near Gloucester, Massachusetts. It read, "To my dearest Elias, the storm is fierce, but I see the light. If this reaches you, know that I am still trying to come home. From Clara." The handwriting matched hers. The note was authenticated but impossible to explain. The Seraphine had sunk years earlier. When the letter reached Elias, he said nothing. But that night, he kept the light burning brighter than it ever had before. Fishermen at sea claimed they saw the beacon flare gold against the fog, a color no flame should ever make. Chapter 4: The Vanishing Keeper, 1863. 2 years later, a supply ship arrived at Havens Reach. The tower door was open, the lamp still lit, a kettle boiled dry on the stove. Elias Whitmore was gone. The logbook's final entry, dated October 3, 1863, read, "The sea is calling. I have seen her light beyond the fog. Tonight, I go to guide her home." His boots were found by the cliff's edge. No body was ever recovered. Fog. Chapter 5: The Light That Wouldn't Die. Here, where history gives way to legend. For nearly 40 years, keepers who succeeded Elias reported strange occurrences. The lamp would relight itself after storms extinguished it. Footprints appeared on the stairs, though the tower was locked. Ships lost in fog swore they saw 2 lights guiding them, one white, one gold. In 1901, the U.S. Lighthouse Service automated the beacon. When engineers dismantled the keeper's quarters, they found behind a wall an old locket and a faded letter written in a woman's hand. It was dated October 3rd, 1863. The same day Elias vanished. The letter read only, "I have found your light." Epilogue. The Keeper's Promise. To this day, locals say that on certain foggy nights, you can see a golden shimmer flicker beside the lighthouse. Sailors call it the Keeper's Promise, a sign that love, like light, endures even through the darkest storm. And on the anniversary of his disappearance, if the wind is right, you can still hear a faint voice calling over the waves. "Clara, the light is still burning." Historical notes. While Elias Whitmore and Clara Morgan are semi-fictionalized, the story is based on real 19th century records from Maine and Massachusetts. Between 1840 and 1880, more than 400 lighthouse keepers served in isolation along the Atlantic coast. Many wrote letters and journals that spoke of loneliness, hallucinations, and haunting coincidences involving shipwrecks and lost loved ones. Several true accounts inspired this tale, including the disappearance of the Ilian Moor Keepers, Scotland, 1900, the Tillamook Rock Lighthouse Journals, Oregon, 1881 to 1890, and authentic U.S. Lighthouse Board archives in Boston, 1850s to 1870s. Subscribe to Banglar Sultans for more fascinating stories from around the world, where history meets mystery. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to support true historical storytelling.